Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the When in Seoul podcast. Daddy Cho, Bobby Choi, we're both in the house.
What?
What? Bobby, you know what? You were just in America.
I just got back, yeah.
Yeah, and how's back home, man? Why did you go, first of all?
Well, I went to see family, but also to do some work. In Austin, I went to South by Southwest.
Yeah, yeehaw!
Yeah, and then had a great time there. Yeah, it was nice to be away from all this pollution and stuff. But
Yes.
I heard it was even worse after I left. My wife was telling me it got pretty bad.
I don't know if I said this on a podcast before, but I'm, typically I'm very bad at contacting people, And so there are days when I won't get a single message. Like, I'll get emails, but, I won't get, a text or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then, during those days, I always got one message, which was, the air pollution is bad. Right? So...
You felt like you had a friend.
Yeah, the government cares about me. Right? So, the air pollution was very bad. And...
But do they really care? I get those messages as well, but I always feel less like they care about me because when I'm with my wife, she always gets it first, and then 5 minutes later, I get it after. I'm just like, yo, that's messed up. These people don't care about foreigners in their country. They're just like, hey, it's like, what if there's some kind of disaster coming towards like a tornado or something coming our way? And they're like, to all the Koreans, hey, get out first. We're giving you 5 minutes before.
We're giving you 5 minutes head start. Or do you think the database is like three, I don't think it's buttons, but let's just say it's buttons.
Yeah.
Right? And they'd be like, well, this is, you get the hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
The hierarchy of Koreans first. Then maybe, people with, F4 visa second, right? Then regular working visas third.
I mean, have you ever been on the subway and everyone gets it, and you can tell because everyone's like lifting up their phone, or you hear it. Some people have, they don't put their phone on silent, And I'm always like, geez, I'm hear it at different times. I'm always reminded how insignificant I am in this country, even though I married a Korean person.
It'd be funny if you get it. I mean, everyone gets it, but you and you're on the subway or something.
Yeah.
And then you just tap the person next to you, like, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
They don't like me.
I mean, my child. If I raise my child in this country, I'm gonna just set up a phone for them right away. But just use my child as safety. So whenever they get a text, I know I'm good. Even if my wife's not there,
right?
I get an extra notice before.
You're too young to have a phone, but you're gonna have a phone.
Dual citizenship, up until you're 18, you keep that dual citizenship.
So yeah, South by Southwest. There were a lot of awesome, favorable reviews of your performance.
Yeah, I had an awesome time. To be honest, I've had a lot of fun at Austin and South by in the past. Every year it gets better for me because I know what to expect and I know what to take advantage of. This year I spent a lot of time going to panels and discussions and speakers. I took advantage of that part of the conference a lot more this year. I stayed away from 6th Street. And you've been there.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
Yes.
And as much as possible. I had a lot of good times though this year. I went to a lot of shows, saw a lot of good music. I met a lot of cool people, a lot of cool artists, and I think I'm gonna get a lot out of it this year.
That's awesome, man. I mean, because the last time I went to South by Southwest, you were there too. We were there. You were there performing, but also our movie K-Town Cowboys was premiered there.
Yeah,
right?
World
premiere at South by Southwest. By the way, K-Town Cowboys is available on VOD platforms in Korea as well as in the States. So check it out. But
Don't tell my mom.
but I remember my trip to Austin as being basically a week of just drinking for me.
Yeah. I've done that too.
Yeah, that was rough.
That week was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first night, I went straight to the house we rented, and you guys were just doing shots of tequila, and you're like, you have to catch up, like, and I was in the moment, so I remember doing shots of tequila, but like multiple shots to catch up with you guys, and that next day was just, anyway.
Yeah, because we had to do press. We had to do press hungover.
This year I didn't drink at all until I decided I'm not going to drink until after my last show, which was Saturday, and I left Sunday. So Saturday I had a few drinks. I didn't get too crazy, but I did have a lot of barbecue. I know, like I'm not vegan anymore, but I am for the most part when I'm home. There's no meat or dairy in my fridge in my house. Like, whenever I eat at home, and most of my meals are at home, I eat vegan. Right. And when I go out with my wife, we go out for dinner, whatnot, then I'll touch meat, but I'm still very, like, I'll touch just a little bit of it. Yeah. I won't go crazy. But while I was in Texas, you have to have barbecue, right? Right. And I had it like 3 or 4 times. Boom. So right now I'm vegan again. Like, after I left Texas, I was like, I can't do it. I mean, they put barbecue and everything. They put it in their breakfast tacos. So, but it was great. I had some really good barbecue. I had a lot of Topo Chicos, like tansansu. Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's like a Texas thing. Yeah. Topo Chico. Yeah. Sparkling water. Yeah. Anyway, when you said tantansu, I was like, it's an advanced word. Yeah. Tantansu, it's an advanced word. Oh man! While you were away, my parents came into town. Ooh, and they're still in town, right? Are they?
Yes, they. As of today, they are headed to Australia and New Zealand for their yearly vacation. So they go.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, so they were in town, and I haven't seen them in a year. And so, that day when they came in, like, I had a show. So after the show, I couldn't meet them at the airport, but I met them at the hotel.
Oh, so they didn't go to the show?
No.
Okay.
So I got there before they arrived at the hotel. So I was waiting in the lobby. And then, in my mind, you haven't seen your parents in a year. Yeah. You expect like a bunch of hugs and maybe a little crying, a little, I missed you so much. Right. So I see my mom and dad walk in. We hug, not powerful, deep. There's no music. There's no sappy music in the background.
Not on the cusp of tears.
Nothing.
Or nothing like that.
My mom pulls back and looks at me and went, "You got fat." And I was like, "Yep, I knew you were gonna say that." Like, in my mind, the whole like bus ride over to the hotel, my brain was like, "Danny, be prepared. You're gonna hear a year's worth of nagging,
of chansori,
of chansori, right?" And
then she made you take the stairs with the luggage.
Yeah, she was 20th floor. She's like, walk this. So she laid it on thick, but it was good to see my parents. And
have they seen you perform live? Do a stand-up set?
No.
Not even in English?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's that uncommon. My mother's seen me she saw me perform one time. She came when I did a show at the Apple Store. I remember I had a show there a long time ago, and she was there, and she was hiding behind a column. She felt embarrassed. I remember thinking that was weird. Was she embarrassed of me, or it's like she didn't want me to see her out there? I don't know.
Well, my parents came to the LA premiere of K-Town Cowboys. Yeah, that's what they saw.
I remember.
But they didn't see me perform live.
Speaking of which, when I had my premiere in LA, my mom came to that show too, and I performed.
Oh, really?
Before I remember I performed up there So she saw me perform there. After the whole thing, I remember, I mean, the first thing she said to me, she was just wondering when this is going to be over. She was just like, why is it so long? Well, it started late, so she had to sit there. Yeah. She's like, oh, she hates sitting for a long time. She has to move around. She's 75, you know. She's got to like move her limbs and stuff as much as possible, I guess. And anyway, yeah, parents.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, I didn't notice this about my mom. My dad's better about this, but my parents, they immigrated to the U.S. in like 1978, right? And so they've been there for more 40 years, right? So they've been in the U.S. longer than they've been in Korea.
Yeah.
Right? And so now in Korea, I think they're so used to the American way of doing things that like my mom, when she comes to Korea and she sees the way some of the food is served, in her mind, it's so unsanitary that she gets sick.
Oh, so she mentally gets sick.
Yeah. So I go, so what do you eat then? You know what I mean? If you can't eat, so they searched online, right? And apparently it's like this famous thing. They're staying in Myeongdong. So in Myeongdong, there's this like kalguksu, like, village. That's what they call it.
Yeah, the Myeongdong Gyoje?
No. That's just one restaurant.
Oh, that's one restaurant.
But there's it's almost like a bunch of stalls of just kalguksu places.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That sounds heavenly.
Yeah, but you know, it's like busy and like, you know, this unsanitary. They're wiping off with like dirty
Knife
towels.
Noodle alley.
Yeah, knife noodle alley, right?
It's gotta be because, you know, they live in LA and everything. They have that system of grading restaurants, A, B, or C, based on the cleanliness of the place. Yeah. And they just do not have that out here.
Yeah. And so I think my mom saw that and like she ate it because she saw it on TV and on YouTube. So in her mind, she's like, all right, we got to try it. Yeah. But afterwards, she was like, I'm never going to that place again. Like, and I realized like when she went to Gwangjang-Sijang, we ate the 빈대떡. Yeah. But she got sick because she saw the way that it was just sitting in that oil for that long. And her mind, it took her to a place where like it's not edible, right? So I go, what do you eat then? So my mom typically likes just to eat like 편의점 food, or at least delivery, because she doesn't have to see the way it's cooked.
Oh, so it's a big mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
If she can take that part out of I see.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's understandable. In other news, this week I'm moving.
Yes.
So I'm getting out of Hongdae, leaving you to your, by yourself.
To my own devices.
Yeah, but you're all grown up, man. You can...
Barely, dude. I'm barely grown up.
But, we still haven't found someone... the building owner still hasn't found someone to take over my apartment. Plenty of people have come by just to stick their head in. I was gone for 2 weeks, so my wife was showing the place. We actually finally just were like, you know what? No one's going to steal anything. We just gave our door code. It's like, just come in whenever you want. There's nothing you can take. Yeah. And if there's something you want, just take it. It's like, we're very minimalist at our house.
By the way, you guys want a fridge?
Yeah. I'm actually going to put our fridge on the Mangwon Facebook page. There's a Mangwon 좋아해 thing, and I know as soon as I put up their free fridge, someone's going to take it. Yeah. But if anyone, yeah.
Well, you're gonna
by the time they hear this, they're not gonna.
You're gonna tell our listeners, hey, anyone want a microwave?
The microwave, I think I'm gonna just throw out. But anyway, I finally, this week I'm packing and people are still coming to see the apartment. And yesterday, I have boxes and stuff. We don't have that many stuff. I only have like 6 boxes or something like that. And it took me like no time to film. But the apartment doesn't look as great as it normally does. So yesterday, someone came over, another student, I guess, came over with the real estate agent, like two girls. One of them pops her head in. I'm like, oh, just come in. You can come in, look around and stuff. And she was just like, that's okay. I can see everything. And I was like, well, you haven't seen the refrigerator on the balcony. Are you sure? Like there's a window in the bathroom. You know, we went through this last time, right?
Yeah.
But this time, I just had enough because she steps in, sticks her head in, and looks around, and steps back outside with her friend, and she tells her friend why this won't do. She's like, "It's just too small. This is not like I don't know what." I don't know how anyone could live under these conditions, basically, right?
Wow.
With the door still open, because the real estate agent is still keeping the door open. And in my mind, I'm like, Bia, you know,
right.
Like, close the door. Like, I don't need to hear your opinion of the way I've been living for the last 5 years. I was so mad. I called my wife and I said, hey, listen, can we just, because they always ask us, they call ahead, they're like, can we bring someone over or not? And so I'm thinking we can say no too if they're asking, right?
Right.
So I just told my wife and we decided, no, we told them, you know, we're getting out of here in a few days on Saturday, so you don't send anyone else. You know, this like my husband doesn't need his feelings hurt anymore. So. Oh man!
Oh, but they don't know that the merit of this place is that yes, it might be small and quaint, but I've gotten my best sleep here.
Oh, I guess we gave away that we just now that we're recording this episode in my apartment now. Yeah. I asked Danny to come over today so you can actually see the boxes. And like these things, they honestly, like, I like living a minimalistic lifestyle. Yeah. Because, you know, I have 2 boxes. Oh, 1 box of clothes, that's mine. 1 box of clothes, that's hers. Yeah. And it literally took me like 20 minutes to pack my...
You know what? I think because of these boxes, people think instead of them being moving boxes, they're like shelves.
Oh, yeah. So when they walk in, they're like, oh, wow, there's no room in this place. So and they're not cardboard boxes. These are you know, nice linen boxes. Yeah, so it looks like this is the way we live. Yeah, so you're like, wow. So maybe that was whatever, you know what? But you're not going to get... but I don't need you to tell me that, you know, this is no place to be living for a human being.
That's true. That's true.
He's, you know what, like.
But you know what? Didn't your nephew come to visit once and cry?
Yeah, he did.
So.
Well, that's when he was living in like this big house, you know, like very open space. He has a lot of room, you know. My nephew and niece, they had a lot of room when they lived in the big house. Right. Which is great. Not to say that I mean, but to grow up in that kind of atmosphere and then to realize that your uncle, who's a grown man, and is a poor bastard. That's if you have a kid sitting there thinking, my uncle lives like this. So like that's a big thing for a kid to have to handle, I guess. So,
because if you roll off,
I would cry too. Yeah,
because if you roll off the bed, you're in the kitchen. Yeah, right. You know what I mean. You know, and so
I mean, I grew up in apartments like all my life. Right. And the first time I went to someone's house, outside of New York, I was just like, I think I probably cried too. I was like, wow, this is possible. It's possible to live like in bigger, you know, like.
It reminds me of one of the Dave Chappelle specials where he goes, he lives in the suburbs, but he's was the poorest kid in the suburb. So Dave Chappelle like visits his white friend's house for the first time. Yeah, and went back home. He's like, you guys need to do better. To his parents. Yeah. I clean it up as much as possible. But speaking of cleaning it up. Yeah. We kind of opened the episode regarding the bad air
Oh, yeah.
The apocalypse.
That's right. How are you surviving the apocalypse? If you're living in Korea, it's not the apocalypse.
Yeah.
It is weird when days you can't see past a certain distance.
Right.
When I first came, I got back last week, and I forgot to put my mask on. And in Incheon, it's supposed to be the worst, right? So I got back on the bus. I thought, I'm inside the bus. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I was still a little tired, so I put my chair back, and I was like just laying there, and I started to cough. And I was like, am I sick? No, I totally forgot, and I put back my mask on.
Oh, wow.
That was, so it's gotten so bad, though, that my wife makes me put on 2 masks.
Wow.
So I wear 2 masks now. And, I don't know. It looks cool, too, though. It's like a fashion statement, too, these days, right?
It's like when you're,
So,
when you're super cold, you wear 2 pairs of long johns. Now when your lips are cold full, you gotta wear 2 masks.
Well, she let me choose the masks, so we ordered it on Coupang, right? Which is, if you're from not from Korea, Coupang is basically Amazon in Korea.
Yeah.
And so I picked these masks that they're black, and because I think black looks cool on the face, I guess. I don't know. That's a weird statement, but I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
And,
black is cool on the face.
Which brings us to this news topic that we wanted that we actually both read.
Yeah.
On Korean Herald, and based on the fact that the air is so bad, Seoul is proposing this fine dust reduction treaty to China and Japan.
Yes.
So it's going to, it's about accountability amongst the nations surrounding us.
Yeah.
And
because it's not just from China. I mean, a lot of people in Korea blame China for the fine dust particles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not just China. It's just it's a lot of just carbon emitting. I know.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up enough with what the real problem is, where it really is coming from. Like, there's a lot coming within Seoul, within Korea. I don't know if actually pollution's coming from Japan, but I think the reason why Japan is part of the treaty, the proposed treaty, is because eventually all of that heads east to Japan as well. So they should have an interest in this.
So it depends on where the wind blows. Like it'll go to Thailand too.
We know it's a problem, though.
Yeah.
Our comfort and our quality of life is definitely changed in the last year because of the air. I'm
a cigarette smoker, right? So, and in LA, which doesn't have the greatest air pollution quality either, right?
I used to hate it.
Yeah.
I used to be so depressed seeing that haze in the distance, and because you can see very far.
Right.
Like in Seoul, you can only see a certain, because there's buildings in the way, there's like whatever, but same as in New York, like you don't see the horizon as much.
Right.
But in LA, like just driving on the highway, you can see for miles and miles up to like, you can see the ocean sometimes. And so, that yellow haze, it used to depress me.
Yeah.
But now when it's up in your face, you can actually, that feels even worse to me.
Because the LA air pollution never bothered me, like physically, but recently I would wake up with a sore throat, and I'm like, what's going on? I'll be spitting up stuff. So, given that I'm on these like dating apps right now, and I met a random girl, and she tells me a myth in terms of how to combat the air pollution.
Okay.
You're supposed to eat samgyeopsal.
Yeah. No.
That's the myth.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually just had dinner with my father-in-law this weekend, and we were cleaning up the new apartment, and there was a lot of dust, and I was like dusting the whole apartment, vacuuming and all this stuff.
Right.
And he was insisting that we eat samgyeopsal after because Koreans believe that the grease in the pork belly will clean out the dust in your system or something. I don't know.
I'm very certain that scientifically does not make sense. You know?
Yeah.
But it is a myth I would like to believe. You know? And you know what's funny? I realized because of the air pollution, then that means that there's going to be 3 industries that are going to be booming.
Yeah.
The samgyeopsal houses. The pork business is going to probably be booming.
Yeah.
You double up on the face mask, so the face mask industry will be booming. And then the air purifier companies must be booming. So, you know, if you're a glass half full type of person, then it's good for certain economies.
I feel like a lot of people are already jumping onto that industry. I mean that like business. Like, you know how we had like a influx of churro places?
Yeah.
I feel like all those owners are going to just ditch the churros and start selling masks. Or churro flavored, I don't know.
Churro scented masks.
Stupid. Yeah, so stupid.
No, but I'm you know, on the bright side, you know, I'm a fan of samgyeopsal, and you know, I can always blame the air quality here for some samgyeopsal and not look crazy.
We actually looked this up in a Reuters article, right? We got a quote here about this quirky correlation in Asia's 4th largest economy, where air pollution outstrips industrialized peers, stems from an old belief attributed to coal miners that the slippery pork oil helped cleanse dirt from their throats. So I guess that's where it kind of originates. And all the
do you believe in it? Do you believe in it?
Yeah, I actually think, at least, I mean, I've been doing this for a while, since I was a teenager. Like, I eat greasy foods before shows. Wow. Like, whenever, I know that, you know, greasy food's not good for you, but I know it's good for your throat.
Right.
I feel like it, it seems to work for me. Like, I'll eat pizza, fried food, like fried chicken or french fries before I have to perform. And I feel like the oil coats my throat.
And you sound better?
I don't know about that. There's nothing to be done about how I sound. I'm not the greatest singer. I think I have a unique voice, and I try to keep my voice up. And because, you know, at one point I was trying to be a better singer. I actually, but that kind of doesn't sound as good when I do like technical things with my voice. Right. I think people respond better to my voice just being flat and you know, like if I try to go all Mariah Carey, which I can to a certain extent, like I can like make my voice tremolate.
So you what do you call it? You can do the vocal gymnastics like an R&B singer?
I can do that to a certain extent, but I won't because it just sounds ridiculous. My voice is not good, not meant for that. It's meant for just being average, and you know, I think that's what my music is. It's like I relate to the average person. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm an average person, I like to think, you know, and I feel like there's a voice for everyone.
You're the champion of the average man. Right?
Sure, we can put it that way.
So my question to you about eating the greasy food and you figuring out is you think it's better for your vocal cords. Did you like one day where like I'm running late for a show, I'm gonna eat a pizza and then get there and then you're like, wait a minute, I feel good? Or like was it, you know, you must have had, you know, everyone has some sort of like ritual, right? Like I like to wear red underwear for important.
Yeah, I'm not that committed to it. Like I'm not always like, oh, I have a show today, so I better eat something greasy. If I happen to be hungry before a show, I'm always thinking, hey, what's the closest thing that I can get that has grease in it. And usually in Hongdae, I just go to one of the pizza places that have by the slice.
Monster pizza, like that one? Yeah.
I look for cheap and easy, or I'll go to get some tikkum, like fried street food.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. That could be a myth too.
Yeah.
I remember I learned that from going to see an Amy Grant concert when I was like 16. I remember I was at an Amy Grant concert because my friend was a fan. And
right. You weren't a fan of Amy Grant?
I was a fan of her husband, who was a country singer, and was opening the show, right? And so what I did was it was at Radio City Music Hall.
Wow.
And I went and I watched. I bought a ticket the day of because my friend didn't want to go alone, but I ended up getting a better seat. So, and he had bought tickets like months in advance. But then I ended up getting like third row. Right. So I was like, all right, I'll watch Gary Chapman first and then you can have my seat. We'll switch it up. And then I remember this, Amy Grant talking about, because people throw gifts at her, but they always throw, potato chips apparently.
Oh,
because my friend brought her potato chips also, right? So I was like, oh, that's funny. But she actually explained why she liked potato chips. She's like, oh, I like potato chips because they're greasy and they make my voice shine or whatever. It's
really?
Like, yeah. So
Amy
ever since then, it just was like ingrained in my mind. It was like, yeah, when I sing, I probably should. I mean, she does pretty well for herself. So,
wait, how many times do you think Amy Grant's name has been mentioned in this year in the world?
I don't know. Like, I don't follow her music, but
I don't want to say she's obscure. Yeah. Like, she had like a run, right? For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I was a fan. I knew of her because, I grew up in youth group, and Amy Grant was like a Christian artist.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that.
And then she made it big with Baby Baby in the pop charts.
Yeah, I know that song.
But I knew of Amy Grant way before that. Like in the 80s, she had other albums, like Christian albums. And then, and then she blew up to like national stardom after that. And her husband at the time too was a Christian artist as well, but I was a fan of his. He was more country, more folk. Is
there country Christian music?
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Sure there is, yeah.
Like, I believe in Jesus. Like that kind of southern, like.
Of course, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
I know we won't stay too much on the food subject, but we have to talk about this. Danny and I, we send each other news articles all the time about Korea to see what we'd like to talk about on the show.
Right.
And we always gravitate towards food. And there was this article about that we saw on Koreaboo.
Yes.
About 11 terrifying Korean delicacies you may be too afraid to try.
Yes.
And that just stuck out to me because I wanted to see what I've actually tried and what I agree with. And so we'll do a quick we'll just like quickly say what's on the list.
Yes. Number 1 on the list is gaejang, which is the marinated raw crab.
Yeah.
Right?
Haemultang is the second thing, which is live seafood stew. Then we have
totorimuk, which is the acorn jelly. Then there's hongo, which is the fermented skate fish, Tony Hawk's favorite. And then there's sundae, which is boiled intestine sausage. Then there's 번데기, which is the silkworm larva. Then there's the 개불, which is the live spoonworms, aka the penis fish, because it looks like a purple penis. Then there's a 산낙지, which is the live octopus, but this is the one that you kind of cut, and it's like it's little pieces.
Yeah.
Then there's a 세발낙지, which is the whole live octopus.
As you've probably seen in Old Boy, if you've seen Old Boy. Yeah.
Yes. Then there's 보고, 요리, which is blowfish.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's tuksubui, so it's kind of like cow, like digestive organs, you know,
like tripe and stuff like that, right? But
so I think this is from the point of view of like someone with let's just, I don't want to generalize, but like an American's taste bud palate, right? Like where you know you've like even sushi didn't hit the market and mainstream until like the late 90s, right?
Yeah, I mean, like in Breakfast Club, you know, they make fun of it how Molly Ringwald is eating sushi for lunch.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks it's disgusting, right?
Right. But out of the 11 that were named, some of them I think are okay, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried any of this stuff and you want to visit Korea, in our opinion, there's only a few on there that
are hard.
Yeah, like even hard for us.
Yeah.
So we'd say, like, try it. All that stuff's worth trying.
Right.
Like, it doesn't taste bad. Even the sangnakji, the live octopus, like, all cut up. Like, there's not much flavor. It's, like, more of an experience.
Right.
So don't be afraid of the flavor of these things. I think the raw crab, like, that, it tastes good.
It's awesome.
I think it all tastes fine. I think when you there's maybe 3 things on that list that we singled out that maybe you want, if you're feeling adventurous,
right?
You can try. But if you don't want to go there, don't touch this stuff.
For me, it's number 1 is hongo, the skatefish.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's favorite.
Yeah.
It tastes like ammonia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, it tastes like ferment, like ammonia, but like Clorox, basically, right? And why would you do that to food?
Right.
So I personally like it. The first time I tried it, I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's like an ajashi thing, I think.
Yes.
They do it. There's no way you're going to eat this without drinking.
Yes. I got peer pressure to eating it. I was with my uncle, and my uncle, you know, we sit down and there's all kinds of food on the table. I was like, Samchin, what is this? And he goes, that's hongo. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, oh, you know what? You kyopos won't like this. And I was like, what, you challenging my taste buds? So, you know, you eat it with not just hongo, but you can have it with possam, the pork, the boiled pork. And so, and you make it, you know, use the lettuce and you kind of make a sam out of it. And I ate it and I went, why would anyone eat this? Like to me, it felt like I was living inside an indoor swimming pool. You know what I mean? That ammonia, that bleach smell was just too much for me.
I think a lot of cultures have this kind of thing. Like I think in, is it Sweden or Iceland, they have fermented shark. I hear like that kind of stuff is very, very putrid and tastes maybe like hongo.
Yeah.
So I understand that these kinds of foods were created because back in the days when there was no refrigeration, you had to, you know, that's where, I mean, kimchi and all that comes from too. This was just the other spectrum of it, trying to keep this stuff, you know, consumable after many, many months. The other thing is bondegi.
Yeah, the silkworm.
The silkworm larva. It's, you know what? I actually think it tastes better than hongo.
Yes.
This goes down easier, but I can understand why people, when they see it, it's just like kind of funky.
Visually, you're eating bugs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are eating bugs.
Yeah. But it's protein. It's good for you. It can't. If you close your eyes and taste it, it's fine. Would you say you think it tastes weird at all?
I agree. It's better than hongo, but
it's not as good as kimchi jjigae.
Yes. I've never understood why people ate it as a snack.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I can understand it in the stew, the tang form, the bondegi tang or jjigae or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that I can understand. But in terms of like, I've seen it like where they sell it in them Dixie cups, you know,
roasted with some salt.
Yeah. And then you it's almost like peanuts.
Yeah.
But it don't taste like peanuts.
I mean, apparently they used to have those at like baseball stadiums. I think they still sell them outside baseball stadiums where you can get a a Dixie cup full of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they sell them in Hongdae. I know exactly where you can get it. It's nostalgic for a lot of people, but even there's a lot of Koreans that won't touch it too.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's fine. The last thing on that list that is kind of crazy is the live whole octopus.
Right. The old boy octopus.
Yes. I've actually tried that a couple times, and I will say I get it. You know, it does taste delicious, depending on your taste buds. I don't know, but I will say I'll never do it again because I just
for humane reasons.
Yeah, I felt guilty. I felt bad. I felt like that's not the way to go. I think there's a humane way to kill your animal protein. If you're, you know, I don't know. And this isn't something that happened while I was a vegan. It was soon after I did it. Because, yeah, it seems a little bit much for me. It is good though. It tastes good with the doenjang and garlic.
Ain't nobody like. Did you hear the octopus like? Hey man. Was the octopus crying? Did you hear anything? Did you feel anything?
It feels wrong. So I would say, you know, you can still eat sangnakji, which is already cut. It's already like prepared and dead, and it tastes good.
So you're better, but you're okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no judgment for me. Yeah, I do, but I do think there's a better way to prepare certain things than just like taking something live and throwing it in your mouth.
Yeah.
For me, to each his own, I guess.
So it's like you're okay with sushi, but if you ate a whole tuna, like straight, like without cutting it up and just putting it all in your mouth, you're going to definitely have a problem with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, wouldn't you? Like, just grabbing, like, a fish out of the water and just stuff it in your...
Like I'm a bear.
Yeah, like a bear.
Nah. I just don't like seafood in general, so I'm kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, but...
But all the other stuff, there's some stuff that's funky on that list, like that penis fish thing.
Yeah,
it does look weird.
Yeah.
But really, it doesn't taste that bad. Like, I've had it, like, it's good with soju. I guess if you dip it in... kanjang, or no, what do you call it?
Chojang?
The samjang.
Samjang. Oh, yeah.
It's good. My wife likes it. But it's more like visual. Like Conan O'Brien had it, had a bit on when he came to Korea, and they were like, they showed it. It does look like a
penis, right? and when it
squirts,
when it squirts because it's nervous, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well.
But I mean, if you want to try it. It doesn't taste bad. Like it's not something you're gonna spit out of your mouth like hongo. You probably might.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get that down.
To me, out of all of this, the hongo is kind of like up there in the black belt level of being able to take some hardcore stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I feel like as Americans, they don't even eat chicken feet. You know?
Yeah,
they get grossed out by that too. You know?
Koreans too don't like the idea of a chicken foot and like the way it looks. I mean, Koreans have that problem too, but there's Koreans that like it, Koreans that don't like it. I love chicken feet.
Yeah,
I think it tastes great. Collagen's good for your skin, right? So, the other stuff that's really hard to swallow, or hard to put down, I would say is like the raw liver. And raw.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Like,
I can't do that anymore, but
I understand why it would be difficult to want to try even, but it tastes good. Raw liver actually doesn't taste like cooked liver. It tastes sweet. And
gamey still though?
It's not gamey.
Really?
No. Like I think it's really good. It's good with garlic and some chamgiram. Some, what do you call it? I can't speak English anymore. Chamgiram is
sesame oil.
Sesame oil,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean,
so that's enough food talk from us. For any questions or comments, please email us at peninsulapod@gmail.com. We've been adding animated clips of our shows or clips of our shows on YouTube, so you can search for that on Peninsula Pod on YouTube. Also, Peninsula Podcast on Instagram. So check us out, follow us, and talk to you guys later. Today.